Hey everyone, what's up? What's good cooking on your minds, my precious followers, my occasional viewers, my subscribers, and my audience on the college scene? What are you doing, what are you up to, and what you've been following through all the day of today, and probably you would like to share, but please don't be shy, just go straight with my conversation below and do that. You have my permission of not doing so, following your own lines, you know what I'm saying, that kind of thing. There's a regular time to ramble here on my channel. This particular channel is particularly oriented for the rambling purpose only, I should say, and for practicing my American, for whatever instances may just arise on our minds, on my mind primarily, as I'm the ruler of this space and the shaper of my own parameters of this channel, called it down for English name. That probably was called by myself. I remember that day pretty vividly what I was doing. I was kind of sitting just down here and nothing doing, and I was making those video shoots, and then before I got to that activity, I figured the name out of my mind. Just that stuff of diving and snorkeling. I mean, water sign and not a water sign, but water-related critter, I should say, earthling, if you will. And so, and I was like pondering something, doing something, following through my daily routine thing, and the thing came up or popped up in my mind, and there was kind of name that goes dive into for English. That's because I'm an open water diver and I like diving stuff and snorkeling and scuba dive and that kind of thing, and I put the picture on the top title for the avatar for my channel, and that's the thing diving, and it's probably human being diving into deep blue and without any things surrounding him or her, whatever that person whoever that person is, I just put the picture, and that was that. No side thoughts, no hard feelings. If I might have offended anyone, open water divers, so we put in that picture. I hope I didn't, so because there's a regular picture that nothing special about it, nothing relates to no one particular. That's my invention. That's the thing I came up with when I was pondering around the point what name should I call my channel, and I call it finally. Thanks God, I have to, you know what, right? So goes about saying. Give me a second here, I'll be right back. How yummy the water! I'm telling you. No can do, it's my thing. Drink water while making these shits spoil. These shits are pretty good actually in terms of what I do for what I do and what way I do the things I do and stuff that goes along these lines. You know what I'm saying? Guys, I wouldn't be rendered for the long particular for tonight probably, but I just wanted to say hello and bye and quick hello and go it through and stay tuned and stuff and shit that falls along these lines, and I did actually. That's my main contributor of issue video shoot here. If my memory serves me right, then I put, as I remember, I put any just a regular phrase that I regularly use. I put it, you know, on each of my video shoots, in each of my video shoots here. It's not forget what I do. I believe I'm not forgetting my American. I'm using it. I'm just maybe even living with it. I say that I don't regard myself as a follower of my own native language. It happens to be American one, a Russian one, and whatever. Ukrainian, primarily Ukrainian, goes more for the listening practice. I don't speak Ukrainian. I speak Russian. I have free time, but most of the time, what I do my American. That's my thing. If you, I dropped that thing previously, haven't thought an idea about. You probably won't hire me for doing shits instead of you, and you may hire me again. I'm telling you, I'm good at what I'm doing. I'm good at scattering things and shits around and telling about them for the wider array of audiences and for arbitrary viewers primarily. If you see that shit happening once, you will not probably want to follow it through any subsequent time. If you do want to follow it for the second time, for the third time, whatever opportunity arises, then I applaud you for doing so. You my colleague, you my counterpart, you my deep follower, my backer, probably, and we that means probably that's a signpost that we are on the same page probably with you, and you kind of want to probably shadow what I do and emulate. It's for me personally the thin matters of emulating and shadowing Native Americans, and that's how I learned and I raised my American way. Not learning separate words, not learning separate phrases, only learning phrases, I should say, and that's my strategic idea that I came up with following some footages maybe that had been marinating in my mind for a certain amount of months, years probably before I came up with the decision to talk to, I don't know, for you, to talk to you and to allow people to see what I do and how it's like to speak in American when you do not fucking have any particular or any general oriented idea of what would you be talking about at all. Just pure aspiration, pure just improvisation and arbitrary speech instead of following some subjects, or because it's easy to follow some particular lines or ideas, or even when you do have a lot of things to talk about that constrains your ability to figure new shits out. That's not allowing you to go forward in terms of how I want to follow further on, and it's not my thing to go superficially about something big. I'd rather to go deep into something kind of little, and that allows me to extract more ideas, to configure more phrases, and to connect them well organized to being together. And that sounds pretty, I should say, an American mood, I should say. And if I do some piece of American, then you're allowed to give me a like. If you're a Native American, if you're watching this shit and stuff, like, you know, what are you doing? What are you doing here? Why are you doing what? While you're doing what I'm doing right now? So that thing, I always go on a tangent with going on a tangent on each session that appears here on my channel. I do that for a certain purpose of practicing the same thing over and over again, because the only thing that matters, that's the practice, and reiteratively same words they stick to, and then you'll not forget them later on, and then the opportunity arises to just speak about whatever, because again it's easy to speak about bigger anything than it's more even complicated and intriguing and enticing to me to speak about nothing, but in a more going into details, like you upscale your nothing, you see tiny particles of nothing, and you talk about them, particularly neatly packing each nothing thing into the bigger nothing thing, and then you wrap that shit around with your own ideas, and you configure it and you put it in a single unit on your footage, whatever. Anyway, you get what I said, so you're giving a like. You are doing that. I'm already feeling what you're doing. So guys, I got a roll. Nothing just happens new. As you see, I'm practicing my American, and so to be good, never give up, and we will on since I release something good and shitty. And meaning nothing for you. Got a roll. Now stay tuned on the channel. How about going? Be good. Thanks for being with me tonight.